Hi, everyone. It's Countess Luann from the Real Housewives of New York, and I'm on Hollywood Raw talking about all kinds of things like paparazzi pictures, Fose all day, Real Housewives, and of course, why we love New York City so much. See you soon.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page. Make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe,
do all the fun things.
Follow
everything. We're here to entertain you guys.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up, let's go.
Enjoy.
You're in New York now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I saw so many paparazzi photos of you during the holiday season. I felt like you were on this long vacation. Where have you been the last few weeks?
I've been actually on the beach in Tulum, Mexico, with some girlfriends of mine. We did something called Bikini Boot Camp.
What is that?
Bikini Boot Camp is where, you have yoga and meditation and clay, mass baths and sweat lodges where you send your praise to the universe. A lot of very holistic healing kind of events that happen at the hotel. And so it's one of my favorite places. A girlfriend of mine happens to own the hotel. And so I always meet a couple of girlfriends down there and we do Bikini Boot Camp for a couple weeks and get healthy and get some sun and relax. I just gotten off tour when I went down there. So I was really looking forward to it. And it was awesome.
So we have a totally refreshed Luann right now. How, are you feeling amazing?
I'm feeling good. I'm
you
feeling
look good.
Thank you. I'm feeling, rested and relaxed and I'm happy to be back in New York. Here go the window washers are coming up the building right now. It's like only in New York.
Is that awkward for you guys? Because I live in LA and I know both you and Adam live in New York. Is that weird when you have people just kind of popping their heads in? Because I got to imagine that's one of the most voyeuristic jobs on the planet.
Yeah, right. It was funny actually. While we were filming The Housewives, I had Billy Stritch here, who's my musical director for Cabaret, and he's sitting here and he's like, "Oh my God, here goes two guys," and they're like waving. Only in New York.
So, speaking of Cabaret, how has COVID affected, your Cabaret? It's affected a lot of people, but how has your performances, how have you been dealing with all of it?
Well, I was very lucky because a lot of my shows started at the end of November and into the first weeks of December, before kind of Omicron was back. And so I got in 14 performances just in the month of December. And then, I almost made it to the end. And then my road manager or one of my people got COVID. So we couldn't make our Florida shows because, he's just an integral part of my show. So we couldn't do it without that one person. So we had to cancel 3 shows at the end of December, right after Christmas. But, all in all, I did 14 shows out of 17 just in the month of December. And I felt very grateful that we were able to do that. And, and so were my fans. They were just, hoping and praying that nobody got sick from our group and that we could perform and it worked out. But then again, we had to cancel 3 shows. So I did a lot of shows in December and, I'm hoping that I can go back on the road in the spring.
Yeah. What is your plan? Are you're thinking spring moving forward? I mean, God, the Omicron is brutal. It is so contagious. It's like everyone is getting this, but you're looking for spring moving on.
I'm looking at April shows moving on. I know for sure I'll be in New York in April. I'm going to be going to Canada, I hope, and out west, out to LA. And so I'm looking forward to that.
When you perform, the day of your performance, do you have a usual routine? Are you in total stage mode or what's your normal day preparation for a show? Or
I really, just do vocal warm-ups and, and relax, try to just have a day that's just restful. And because I was doing shows back to back every night, so just winding down at the end of the night and trying to get to bed early, and and just doing vocal warm-ups, and reviewing my script, and but after 14 shows, it's like I'm on autopilot. So yeah, it's been amazing, and just really kind of just relaxing and being mentally prepared.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: you're originally from Connecticut?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town in Connecticut, in Berlin, Kensington area, between New Haven and Hartford, so right in the center of the state. And I moved to New York when I was in my early 20s, and then moved to Europe and stayed for a long time, and then came back and found the Housewives.
Wow. How did you was in Europe? Where was your, like, if you said someone, I've been to Sweden, was the only place of all places. Where was the best place to live in Europe?
Mm. Well, at the time I lived in Milan. I lived in Italy because I fell in love with the Italian culture and lifestyle and the food. Um, and then I got married and moved to Switzerland. So, but if I had to move to Europe today, I'd probably go to France.
Where's your favorite place to travel? Just in general, like, because a lot of people haven't seen the world out there, and you've been to so many places. If you could have one place to travel, and I'm not talking living, if you could recommend, hey, get in a plane if you ever have a chance, this is where you should go.
Oh my gosh, ugh, there's so many places. I would say the south of France is one of my
Okay.
favorite places.
Which,
Just doing that coast, the French Riviera, which then leads to the Italian Riviera. You can hit like so many countries in a day, just traveling down the coast of the Mediterranean, and be eating different food and experience a different culture, just, from the time that we drive from New York to the Hamptons. So it's pretty interesting, and, culturally interesting, and just, I always say to girls out there, because girls are like, we can't meet a guy. We can never find a guy, like New York, LA. I said, get in the car and go to Europe, because it just seems like, I don't know, the lifestyle is just more, I don't know, relaxed in terms of that,
hmm
like dating, and guys aren't afraid to come up to you. And you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a little bit more relaxed in terms of sexuality. I don't know.
No, for
How
sure.
often how often are guys hitting you up?
Oh my God, I actually had a dream last night. There was like at this party, and like three guys who were gorgeous were hitting me up. But that was in a dream, unfortunately. Um, you know,
Like, are your DMs blowing
I'm
up?
just remembering this right now. Um, um, I was in Mexico, and there are people from all over the world. That's another place that I love to go, because you have travelers from all over the world in, Mexico. Um, and I love that. I love I love the Mexican culture also, and I love the food as well. But yeah, there were some guys, in Mexico, and me and my girlfriends had a really good time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, so what is your
Yeah.
what is your dating status? Are you just actively dating? Are you seeing anyone? I'm just curious.
I'm really not seeing anyone in particular. I'm just I was so busy with my shows in the fall that there was like, forget about it. And so I thought, when I go to Mexico, it'll be my time to like just relax, and I'm sure there'll be some guys around, and there were, and I'm just, I'm just dating and not really seeing anybody. So,
Were
but
were
looking forward to that, because as I like being married. I've been married twice, and I've had long-term relationships, and Jacques, and my French boyfriend, and so I'm looking forward to what's next in terms of relationship for me.
are you into younger guys? And like, is that what you
Not
prefer?
really, not
No.
really. I like age appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you meet people? Like, I know you're saying Mexico, there were guys around, but like, I find like there has to be so much pressure when you are a celebrity and you are a famous face. Dating is a whole different ball game in my mind for you, because you're like
Mhm.
actively going, is this person into me, or are they into my star, or what are they? So how do you meet people?
Well, specifically on this trip, I think a lot of people didn't know who I was, which is fantastic. I love that because I don't want people to be interested, obviously, because of, who I am, etc. And so a lot of people didn't really realize, and I prefer it that way. I haven't really met anyone that's like really interested in me because, I'm a housewife. In fact, I think oftentimes that's a turnoff because, my life is so public, and a lot of people have skeletons in their closet. So, why would they want to put their life out there just because mine is? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can, it's often not the best thing for me in terms of dating, that's for sure.
In the past year, what would you say the best date you've been on was? Like, I feel like when I think of you, Luann, I think guys are really kind of going all out when they put you on a date. Like Dax, I've seen Luann in New York City. She's tall, she's beautiful, she stands out in a crowd. So I feel like when guys see you, they're like, man, I'm gonna bring my A game. So what's the best date a guy's brought you out on?
The best date. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess it was probably the opening of Phantom of the Opera with
Mm.
Andrew Lloyd Webber actually being there, being the DJ.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was, to be at the opening of Phantom and after COVID and the theater's back. And it was just a beautiful. I had never seen Phantom of the Opera. So for me, it was just magic. And being with Andrew Lloyd Webber at the end of the night was pretty amazing too. So I was impressed.
That's a good one. And then that one just
That's a good one.
that date
Most
fizzled out after that, or what?
What's that?
I said that date fizzled out after that.
No, not yet.
Okay, all right, all right. I like. And what would you say is the biggest turn off a guy could do, like on a first date?
Chic, c'est la vie, c'est bon, c'est bon. Texting on a date. If you make a lady wait, she'll take a pass. part of my music, right? I can't stand people that are on their phone. I mean, it's just so rude, right? It's like I'm sitting
Yep.
in front of you and you're going to be on your phone, really? Um, yeah, yeah, that and just not being able to behave like a gentleman.
So
Absolutely.
you are now a reality star. You're a reality show veteran. You're a housewife legend. If you could do it all over again, what would you do it? How would you do it differently?
Oh my gosh. I just think life's gives you the twists and turns. And, I was in Milan. I was slated to go to California to become, Hollywood actress because I was working in television over there. My agent's like, now it's time for you to go to Hollywood. You're famous in Italy. Now you go to California. This is how we do it, blah, blah, blah. And then I met the Count and I fell in love and I never made it to Los Angeles. But, part of me, I do act, I do scripted things. I've been on Law and Order, I've been on Royal Pains and other things. So, what's next for me? I'd love to do a scripted show also, Bridget Everett's got a new show, which is a big hit on HBO now. So I was so happy
Yeah.
for her. She's actually been in my Cabaret show, came as one of my guests once, and I'm so happy for her and Murray Hill, who's a really good friend of mine. So yeah, I'd love to do some scripted, and if I had to change, I'd be doing more acting than reality.
Sure.
And how did you wind?
Or hosting late night show, late night with Lou.
No, I love
Yeah.
the like late night stuff now.
Or do what you
What
guys are doing.
how did you, well, if you need a podcast, let us know, if if when you how did you wind up on Housewives? That's what I was trying to think. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. How did you end up on such a big show like this?
It just came to me. I was at a party and I met somebody called Jill Zarin, and Jill Zarin was this bold, redheaded, Long Island girl, you know, with that Long Island thick accent. And I had just moved back from Europe, and I'd been gone for like 12 years. So I just never met anybody like that. I didn't know anybody from Long Island, and her accent just cracked me up. And she was authentic, and I really liked her because she was authentic. She wasn't trying to be, because I got a lot of that with people that wanted to be around me and my French aristocratic husband, and you know, so I just found her so real and so authentic, and I really liked her, and we exchanged numbers. And then I went to Europe for, I don't know, a month on holiday, and I came back and I saw her an email from her saying that she was doing this TV show and that I'd be perfect for it. And you know, that's been my background. You know, I used to work for Italian television. And so I was like, oh great, okay. And so I called her, and I met the producers of Housewives. At the time it was called Manhattan Moms. And that's how I got started on the Housewives. It really just kind of came to me.
We had Jill on a couple weeks ago. She was phenomenal.
Isn't she
Such a good interview. But it sounds
great?
like if the timing was right, it sounds like she would come back. And I mean, what do you think if Jill was back on the show?
I love Jill. I'm always, you know, I'm always having her on the show, like whenever there's a party or there's a thing, and I always invite Jill and try to get her back in, you know, the mix. And you know, it's up to the Bravo gods, right? It's up to certain Bravo people, and I just, you know, I'm always rallying for her to come back. So we'll see.
Kelly Bensimone's been working it lately. You know, Kelly's, you know, obviously with the A-Rod story, and then we're seeing a lot of photos of her in Daily Mail. Then we just saw photos of her in Aspen. What are your thoughts about her? You know, do you think she's trying to come back to the Housewives, or really trying
No,
to?
I don't think so. I think Kelly's into her real estate thing. I think that, you know, for certain people, it's just, you know, it can be too much. It's a lot, you know, there's a lot of drama, a lot of stress aside from the fun. You know, it's a big job. And I think, you know, Kelly, you know, when she left, she kind of decided this is maybe not for her. So I don't think she's interested. Maybe I'm wrong.
Adam, because again, sorry, we just had her on as well.
Well, okay.
Didn't she say that she would come back as
I
well?
think she said she would come back, but I feel like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, yeah, she did. But Luann, this is my opinion. Like, I feel like obviously she's doing her real estate and she's doing well with it. And then you saw the A-Rod story, and she's somehow getting photographed all the time. Somehow they saw her being photographed in Aspen and her snow pants. They
Hey,
spotted
Adam,
her.
do not knock people. You know,
No,
we are all about
I
people doing their thing, you know, keeping the press going. I would never knock someone for calling
I
paparazzi.
think
That
it's the
it's what you
smartest
got to
thing.
do.
I think it's the best thing for her to do. I think it's very smart for her brand, for her career. So I just think in my opinion, I feel like she's trying to itch her way back on the show. And I feel like the show, I don't think it could use it, but it's like, it's not, I wouldn't be mad if she came back on the show.
No,
And
I
actually,
don't think so. I don't think
yeah,
so. I think she's gorgeous, and she's a great eye candy, and and I think, you know, people deserve another chance in life. You know, I feel like like for example, those pictures that you saw of me on the beach, I didn't call a photographer, so you know, I was just a surprise. I was so surprised. I was like, wait a second, where's the guy with the long lens here? Because you know, they were okay pictures, but they weren't my greatest bikini shots. Let's put it that way. Um,
Yeah,
so
Luann, what goes through your mind? Because obviously I'm not a celebrity. I'm not getting my photo taken on the beach. And I feel that I can be self-conscious or ridicule myself. Do you feel like the second you see a Google alert come up, are you like, oh boy, like what are
yeah,
these photos gonna look like?
are you scared? Like, actually, when you see those photos, does it freak you out a little bit? Like, what the hell? Like, who's spying on me?
it does. It does, because I just think I'm here. I am being private and alone, you know, and so I feel, you know, there's a certain sense of feeling taken advantage of, because you know they're selling these photographs that I have not given them permission to take, and so you know, or did I have any knowledge that they were taking them? So you know, it never feels good to not, you know, be in the driver's seat and, you know, have someone taking pictures of you and you're totally unaware of it.
But on the other side, have you seen a photo set that went out there? You were like, damn, Luann, looking good.
Sometimes, sometimes, and a lot of people do call their own photographers. A lot of celebrities do that all the time.
Yeah.
So at least if they're going to have a picture, here's a good one instead of crapping when you're going to try to sneak on the beach.
I think it's the smartest thing to do. Luann, when it comes to casting for the show, do you have any input on casting, or do you have a good enough relationship with Bravo now where to say, listen, I know a girl, she'd be great on the show. Can you actually pull the strings to get her an audition or a meeting with Bravo?
Oh, sure. I mean, listen, we've all had friends that we've, wanted to have on the show. And I think, we don't make the ultimate decision, obviously, but, we kind of do weigh in here and there on people. Of course, it makes a big difference if somebody knows you, because that changes everything, especially if they know me and Sonia and Ramona. And so let's like Dorinda, for example. Dorinda made a great, addition to the cast, and we all knew her. So yeah, there's a certain amount that we do get to weigh in on.
What do you think? Sorry, I just thought about this question, but what do you think you'd be doing right now if you didn't quit nursing all those years ago?
Well, listen, I quit nursing when I decided to move to Europe as a model in New York. Because, I heard all the models talking about Europe, Milan and Paris. And I was like, oh, I want to go to these places. And so, I didn't want to lose on that opportunity. And so, of course, nursing is a whole another thing that I love doing. And I did, for 3 years before I moved to Europe. Even in New York City, I was a nurse / model. So, there was model / waitresses and model / actresses. But that was my secondary job, to make ends meet, because, I wasn't working all the time as a model. So, but when I went to Europe, that was, the time that I stopped, nursing, and then eventually just found television, through, being in the right place at the right time. I met Diane Furstenberg's husband, Egon, at a party in Europe. And he said, what are you doing here in Italy? And I said, I'm trying to model, but it's not going very well. And he said, meet my friend, Johnny Manganelli. He lives in Roma. So Johnny Manganelli goes, come to Roma, bella americana. I give you a job. So I went to Rome. I followed up. And I got a job like being the Vanna White of Italian television. So that's how I started my TV career.
So awesome.
I know. I was like turning letters. I didn't have to say anything. I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized if I speak Italian, that I could, really go far in the television world. And that's what happened. And, and then I was skiing with my Italian boyfriend in Switzerland, and I met my French husband. So there you go.
That's amazing. In New York City, who is the one celebrity that you run into the most?
Oh my gosh. Run into the most, I don't know, Don Lemon, Carson Kressley.
Where do you see Don Lemon usually?
Yeah, Don is my neighbor in the Hamptons. And I love Don, and Carson and I are good friends, and I probably see them the most in New York. And gosh, who else do I see a lot of? To think about that. Well, Kristen Chenoweth,
Yeah. Do you see, I feel like everyone, do you run into Andy a lot?
Andy, I don't run into, because he lives way downtown and I live way uptown. So it's
He's
not like
yeah.
We cross getting coffee in the morning, but we're in touch. He just did a great video for my Fosé, because he loves my Fosé rosé.
Yeah, your Fosé, which is the non-alcoholic wine, is doing, it was recently released. You're sober now. So was that really the inspiration behind it?
Listen, I take it day by day in my life, because, you only have one today, right? So when I came up with it, it was like, oh my gosh, was it last summer or the summer before even? When COVID first started, I remember it was that summer. And my daughter and I were looking for options out there, and we didn't find anything that we liked. So that's when we had the idea to create our own. And I love it because it's exactly what we wanted in terms of the tastes. We went through, tastings and the whole thing. And what I really wanted was an elevated bottle looking bottle so that you could be at a party, and whether you're having Fosé or a Whispering Angel, they look similar, and I wanted them to be similar in color. And in fact, my friend owns the brand Whispering Angel, so that's why I bring it up, because he's a French, a friend of mine who lives in the south of France who created Whispering Angel. And I wanted something that mimicked wine, looked like wine, and tasted good, which was low calorie, and had really good ingredients. And this is what we made. And, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. My fans are really loving it. Like I said, Andy just posted about it because I've been sending, some bottles to some celeb friends of mine, and everybody's loving it. And, and what's better than that? I mean, to create something, and I think there was a real niche in the market for something like that. There's a lot of other products out there, but not one that you can order. I'd be out with friends and I'd have a Perrier, and they're like, friends don't mind, but then, people at the other table thought, oh, she doesn't drink. There's such a stigma around it that I wanted to take that stigma kind of away and be like, I'll have a Fosé, and and have a beautiful bottle, and feel like you're part of the party, even if you're not, drinking. And it's not for people that don't drink it at all. You can also have a glass of rosé, and then you can have a glass of Fosé. And I gave it to a girlfriend of mine once who loves to drink her rosé, and she didn't really realize she wasn't drinking real rosé. So that's a great, nod to how good it is as a faux wine.
It's funny because, I guess I hadn't processed all the situations that it could really work in. And as you were talking about it, I'm like, it makes so much sense. It's brilliant because there are a lot of people out there that, whether you're sober or you're just not into drinking, whatever the case is, you do want to be a part of the crowd, and you want to be there with your friends, and you don't want to feel like the one drinking an iced tea while everyone's pouring back their wine. And I think that's so smart to have people feel included and, and really enjoy that. So brilliant on your, this idea of non-alcoholic wine. I know I actually fell in love with it as you were talking about it.
And
really
it's
smart.
not like you're taking wine and taking the alcohol out of it.
Yeah.
It's built on all these amazing ingredients, which, I mean, even has like some tannins, so it has that little, bitter taste. And gosh, the list of ingredients. I mean, there's not that many ingredients in it, but they're all, berry and low calorie, which is really important to me. I want, I want it to be low calorie because, I've been at the mercy of mocktail people who are making mocktails, and, either they're sugary, they're not the right taste. And so, this takes all of that away, and you have something ready to go that's brought to the table, and there's no guesswork in it. So that's what I love about Fosé.
And what sparked your sober life was just, I want a lifestyle change. I need to healthy up, because I feel like that's what a lot of people is. Oh, I can, just have a healthy lifestyle. Like, what was it that sparked it for you?
And I want to ask you something. This sounds, I just want to learn. I say this from a learning thing, and because I'm not familiar. Do you, like, you're sober now, do you consider yourself an alcoholic, or do you consider yourself a person who...
I try not to label myself, I really don't. I don't want to label myself. So I take it day by day. Obviously my goal is to not drink. And so this is why I made, Fosé.
Yeah, no, I get it. And what other, like, obviously you're touring, you got the wine now. It's some part, I think it's actually one of those ideas that's so smart that you actually like hit yourself. Like, why didn't I think about this sooner? It's because it's a great idea, and I love the name as well. Is there any other business adventures that you're also trying to get into besides this? And like, moment?
Well, for the moment, I'm just enjoying that this is doing well, and everybody's, loving the product. And, who knows, maybe I'll make, other drinks, not just the Fosé. And, I've always got some other things in the works, and I'm actually working on a book, which is a long time coming. Really, it's a memoir. And so I've got a lot of different projects, but between Cabaret, working on the show, hopefully coming soon, and the Fose in the book, I got my hands full, and I have children too. So, and
So with with obviously the pandemic and Housewives was put on hold there for a little bit. Did all the cast members stay in contact through that time of no filming?
oh yeah, I just got a text from Sonia. Hey, where are you girls? Spoke to Leah recently, so we stay in touch. We have a group text message, thing, and we talk, and so we had a little bit of a hiatus, but we'll be back.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
there was no reunion.
No, there wasn't. I feel like we just got to, the season ended. We were all kind of at a good place. I was traveling. Everybody was kind of all over the place, and we, like I said, we landed on a good place at the end of the season. And I think because of how late everything landed, that, it's just the timing was off. And so, I'm looking forward to next season.
Yeah.
And were you in town for New Year's, by the way, or were you in Mexico?
I was in Mexico already.
Oh, you missed all the craziness on CNN with Andy and
I was like, did he get his Fose yet?
right? That would have been a perfect moment.
That would've been perfect.
Hey guys, you're getting a little goofy. We need to hand you over. I personally enjoy all of the craziness. I love watching people get drunk on TV. It is one of my favorites. So I had nothing negative to say about that. I was just curious if you got to watch all of that.
No, I didn't even see it, but I heard about it. Part of the yoga retreat is we don't have TVs.
Oh,
that's good. That's nice. Probably the best part. Luann, we want to do a thing where we do what ifs with you. It's a quick game. Just kind of see, pick your brain real quick and just like quick, fun answers.
Okay.
So what if you were stuck on a deserted island with one cast member from Real Housewives of New York? Who would it be?
Well, let's see. I guess it'd have to be Sonia.
okay.
Because she makes me laugh.
She makes me laugh too. If you never moved to New York, where do you think you would be right now?
Oh my gosh, if I never moved to New York, I'd probably still be in Connecticut.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah, New York changes your life.
Yeah. If you could go to one restaurant in New York City, what would it be?
Le Bernardin.
I've never been there. It's good.
Oh yeah. Well, it's Eric Ripert. He's like,
yeah.
And he's a friend. And he's a friend. So.
Adam, next time I'm out, we're going, okay?
Oh my God, Le Bernardin, you have to go.
Yeah. It's
if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
If you had one last cabaret show to perform, where would you want to perform it at?
God, probably the Chicago Theater.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. How many seats in that place?
4,000 people.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
It was awesome. I played there, and it was one of my favorite shows because the theater's so epic and gold gilded, and and it was the biggest audience I've ever had. So,
if you were to host a celebrity dinner party, who would be like the top 5 celebs you'd want to have at a dinner party?
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't imagine. Well, like I said, Dawn, Kristen Chenoweth.
You don't have to know these people. They could be just whoever you want, your celebrity faves that you would love to have a dinner party.
Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Barbra Streisand. And we need another guy. And Brad Pitt.
Nice. I like it. Okay.
What if I went through
They don't know each other.
What if I went through your phone and went through your DMs? Who would be the one person I saw in the DMs that'd be like, man, that's That's pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I like looking at you as you think about this answer. You're like,
I know.
That means there's a lot of DMs flowing in. I'm guessing.
Right, Sam? Who? I got my girl who helps me with social media. I'm like, who? There's so many, but not so many. I'm not that popular. But let's see. Kyle Richards.
That's a fun one.
That's cool.
I love Kyle.
Well, you guys are legends. Yeah.
If you could travel back in time and change one thing, what would that one thing be?
Back in time and change one thing, what would that one thing be? I think maybe blue eye color.
You got to travel way back in time to when you were like a zygote.
Yeah.
Change my genetics.
Don't it make my brown eyes blue?
I love it.
Yeah, Luann. That's
a good song for me, right? Got to write that down.
Write it down.
Yeah. Who's actually? Are you working on any like? You've done duets with some really fun people. Is there anybody you're working on, like in the potential of talks to work on a song together at all?
Not at the moment. I mean, in the past, I've had some, talking about remixes of my music, etc. But, like most recently, Kristen Chenoweth was going to come into one of my shows and we wanted to do something together. And it just, with COVID, it just never happened. And she was at the Met. Anyway, who knows? I mean, last time I collaborated was Desmond Child, on that song. And most recently was Billy Stritch and, Bruce Roberts, who made, my new Christmas song.
Could there potentially be a song with you and Melissa Gorga?
She was just on the Ultimate Girls Trip with me.
Yeah.
Come up, and I don't believe that she's still kind of like into the singing thing, right? Because we haven't heard a song from her in a while.
No.
So I don't know, but that could be interesting.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, she's cute. She's adorable.
Yeah, Luann. So if people want to check out your wine, how can they get your wine right now?
So they can go to drinkfose.com. I'm going to be doing Talk Shop Live tonight at 7:00 Eastern time. So I have a link in bio on my Instagram that you can check out. But drinkfose.com is where you get the Fose. I'm doing Talk Shop Live tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's my first time. So looking forward to that. And I'm going to be in a new store. What is it called again, Sam?
Spirited Away.
Oh, Spirited Away, which has like 5 stores in New York City, which sell non-alcoholic beverages. So excited about that, and got some distribution, deals going on. And so, so drinkfose.com and check me out on Talk Shop Live if you're around tonight at 7. And we'll see you in Spirited Away. Actually, tomorrow night I'm doing an appearance in Spirited Away here in New York City. So
very cool.
You're a busy lady. Thank you for taking the time to stop by and chat with us. And good luck. I want to see Fose on all the different shelves out there, everywhere, because I really think it's a smart idea.
Thank you, guys. You got to try it because it's really delish. You'll be like, oh, no, I understand.
I will get on. I will order because I want to support. So I'll order some and check it out for sure.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Dax, thoughts?
I thought I liked her. I'd never, obviously I hadn't had any interactions with her over the years, so I didn't know what to expect, but I liked her. She's fun. I mean, dude, I wasn't lying when I said I actually really like the concept of her wine. Like I went into this like, oh God, we got to talk about someone's like non-alcoholic wine, like so random. But as she was talking, I'm like, that's a really smart idea because I have people in my life that can't drink, and for them, I know that it is awkward sitting at a table and when everyone else is getting drinks, not because it's necessarily like they know they don't want to be drinking, but like that feeling of everyone else just ordered. I honestly thought it was a good idea.
Well, you see what other people in the Bravo series have done. You know, Bethany Frankel was Skinny Girl Margaritas. You know, Kyle Cook from Summer House doing his Loverboy. You know, these brands do well, you know, especially with the Bravo platform behind it. So it's good to, as a entrepreneur, to take advantage of that. And it's good. I mean, listen, Luann is like I said on the podcast, she's a veteran of the Housewives franchise. She's just did the girls trip, which is like the best girls kind of went on the girls trip. So she's doing her thing.
Living her life right now. She just got back from Mexico. It was so funny when she was talking. I was like, this sounds like the bougiest Mexico trip I've ever heard of. Like,
for a few weeks. I mean, that's awesome.
That's few weeks doing yoga and meditation. I'm like, oh, that must be a really expensive trip.
Yeah, that's something. It's a very expensive trip, but from what I know, I think she did very well from her first marriage. She got hit off very well. So,
well, she's successful in her own right. So
yeah, she's very successful. I take that back. She's very successful in her right from her burlesque shows, which I'm telling you, Dax, these shows are like so much in demand for her to do performances. Like it's a big deal when she performs. Like people go crazy.
Well, she's a big deal. Like I really like when I told people we're having Countess on, they got really excited. I mean, we've had a lot of housewives on our show. As funny as we're like, yep, Jill Zaron. Yep, Kelly Benson. Like we've had a lot of housewives, but I think she's one of the most in-demand housewives. Like everyone wants to talk to her.
Yes. But thank you, Luann, for coming on the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a review on iTunes. The best thing to do, you know, just leave a review.
Support us, please.
Yeah.
We don't ask for money. We ask for reviews and 5-star ratings. That's it. But you got to do it on iTunes. It's super easy. Just go to iTunes, find Hollywood Raw, scroll down to the bottom, leave that review, please. We'll read one on the air, and as a little thank you, a token of our appreciation for you.
Yeah, we also have a private Facebook group on our Facebook page where if you have any questions, we'll give you the real dirt of what's going on. Some stuff we actually can't say in the podcast because for legal reasons, because people will come after you. But we have a private Facebook group where we give all of the dirt. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're on it all, especially we have these crazy behind the scenes celebrity videos that you can't find anywhere else. If you want to know what's really going on in Hollywood, LA, Miami, all what your celebrities are doing, follow us on those social media pages because we have crazy good content that's really awesome. You can find me at Adam Glyn, Glyn. You can find Dax Holt at DAXHOLT. We'll see you guys next time.
Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.